people. I just pause this before it kicks off too much. Welcome back. This is the League 5 boys now at Alsace. Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci, et toi? Yeah, we have the Fat Pickers who has qualified in the pole position, followed by the Wrecked Pearl and the BMW in second. I can't keep it going. I can't keep it going. But here we are in Alsace for round 7 of League 5 at Alsace. So it's a nice big field here. I'll just run you through again in not in French, in my Del Boy French. The grid. Let's go to Fat Pickles. Here we go. Fat Pickles, Daddy Pig, qualified in first place. I'm completely blind onto this as well. I have no idea how the race pans out. So this will be a journey for me as well as it will be for you. Fat Pickles here in first place in the Honda. Wrecked Paul in the BMW. I don't know if you saw the League 4 race here. The BMW boys were struggling mightily with that car around the corners here. The fast car just doesn't seem to grip at all at the rear. Watch out! I'm going to watch out for how Wreck Paul gets through the final chicane of this circuit, because that's what it seemed to be where the BMW seemed to want to go sideways most. Anyway, Wreck Paul here in second place. Tricky is that a police car? It is, yeah. Tricky here in a BMW police car in third place. Nice livery. PTRT and another it's a BMW field, isn't it? PTRT here in fourth place in another Beamer, and it's the BMW boys League 5. Blackie here in fifth place. The Flying Pasty in a Jag. It's James in sixth place. It's it's Flying Pasty on the top that you can see on the roof. 55.8 in a Corvette, jet black Corvette. You can't spot it. In seventh place, Crazy Admiral here in eighth. I've forgotten which car he's driving. Is that a Jag? Can't quite tell. I've forgotten what car or his second car is. Azeroth in a Honda here in ninth. And Skivet back here in another Corvette in 10th. So let's crack on. Let's get on with it then. See how this race pans out. So I'll start up here with... oh, it was a full start there by PTRT off the grid. He gets a terrible start, this PTRT. I'm at the front here of Fat Pickles. Looking backwards, Wreck Paul dives underneath, nice and clean. Tricky's clean through there. James has got up to fourth, and then we've got this gaggle of drivers here, led by Skivet, who's got up from last place to fifth by one corner. It's crazy. There's tucking in there. 55.8 is side by side with Admiral. Azeroth 8th. Oh, here we go into turn 1. Oh, a little bit of a bump there, but Azeroth has just allowed PTRT. Here he is in his BMW off his full start. Not sure what kind of... I've not had a full start myself, so I don't know what kind of penalty it gives you. It's right, gaggle of drivers here at the back, so we'll go back up to the front with Fat Pickles coming into the sharp right-hand corner there, holding his pole position up against Wrecked Paul in the BMW. There's Tricky, the police. Guns don't kill people, robs do. Some in the police, woo woo woo. Tricky here in third place in his BMW. James the Flying Pasty fourth. Crazy Admiral's in the Jag. That's what it is. It is a Jag. I thought it was. Ooh, looks like there's side-by-side action here. The two Corvettes. Lovely sound of the Corvettes, I have to say. That's why I drive one. I think it sounds like a nice car to drive. But Skivet's just been overtaken now by PTRT. PTRT's on a mission. Here he is. Oh no, that's Blackie. There's PTRT's on a mission to regain his spot. He's now back up to 7th. So good driving there by... Oh, PTRT, I said he's good driving, and he's got it wrong here. He's slammed into the barrier. Oh, he's having a nightmare, is PTRT. See, there we go. I'll just quickly show you here. Even such a great driver as Wreck Paul is struggling with this BMW in this final chicane. You watch the BMW's entry into this corner here. Slings it out sideways. The BMW's just lacking so much grip at the rear. Imagine how faster that car would be if it actually could grip going into some of these corners. But Fat Pickles is holding his position. He's now being harassed by Wreck Paul here, but Paul's going to tuck in behind the Honda driver. Nice battle brewing here, and there's the police. Tricky going to pick up any pieces should any of these two boys up front get things wrong, squabbling amongst themselves. Nice, good driving here by the League 5 boys. This is James. What's going on back here? So James is now in the Jags in midfield. This is good for the Jaguar sponsorship. 55.8 and Skivet still lying astern. Blackie's hanging on to the back of these two Corvettes. Azarath trying to catch up to the party up here. Is Blackie going to have a dive up the inside of Skivet? No, he backs out of it. And PTRT, the flying snot. I have to come up with something better than the flying snot, but look at that car. It just looks like someone sneezed on it, really, don't they? It's just like a giant has sneezed on that car. Achoo. With flu. Horrible. Anyway. Sorry, PTRT, it does look a bit horrible. Anyway, here we go. Fat Pickles through the fastest section there. The field is starting to settle down now. And then we'll start to see what kind of lap times these boys are doing. I know in the League 4, Wreck Paul's looking around the outside. He's trying to undercut Fat Pickles going up the hill. That's a tricky corner there. Daddy Pig is holding his line. Wreck Paul's trying to go around the outside. He's going to have... I'll go to Wreck Paul because he's going to have fun trying to turn in and overtake him here. Did he get the BMW sideways? No, he holds on to it that time. The rear end doesn't go anywhere. There's just allowing Tricky now to catch up to the front party. If only Tricky could put some flashing lights on the top of that Beamer, that would just look superb. Nice livery, mate. It is really cool. I'm not sure if you're sponsored by the police though. That'd be interesting. But anyway, Tricky is pulled alongside his fellow BMW driver Wreck Paul. He's now harassing him. This has just allowed Pickles just to get a little bit of half-second breathing room. Nice and neat and tidy here by the League 5, got to say. 1, 2, 3, less than a second apart from him. And I've got a feeling, looks to me like James is starting to just catch these boys who are stumbling over themselves a little bit. Yeah, the Jag driver, the flying pasty is definitely flying in this race. Starting to catch up to the back end of Tricky. Let's ride on board with James. Looking up ahead there, or puff of smoke from Tricky under braking. Jag's very underrated car for this series. It's actually very fast in a straight line. It's got its good characteristics. I'm not sure how the grip for it is, but James made it look quite easy there, to be honest. He's not caught them just yet, so let's go back to Crazy Evan in the next Jaguar. He's now been caught by Blackie. Oh, Crazy's gone wide there. I'll get my words out. Crazy's gone wide there, but Blackie couldn't make a move to get past because Crazy held his line quite well. Coming under the Gran Turismo bridges, I should say. There's two of them. There's the other one. He's going to try and up the inside here. He is, you know. Oh, that could have gone terribly wrong. Blackie backs out of that quite sensibly. But as I thought, there's the 55.8. He's just caught right up. So let's give it. He's still quite a way back. So the 55.8 is joined up to this party. So we'll just quickly see what's going on up front. Oh, and then PTRT is having a nightmare. He's come off again at that same spot. So back up here. Wreck Paul has got away from Tricky a little bit and is now caught right back up to the back bumper of Fat Pickles, and he's harassing him for sure. The fastest lap in League 4 was by Beserker-Boy, who did a 1:55.2. So Fat Pickles is there or thereabouts, only 0.2 off the pace. Be interesting to see what these boys can do. 55.6 by Paul, 55.9 by the police. James, although he hasn't got quite as quick a times, he still seems to be catching those boys up ahead. So here we have Admiral. Ooh, this is quickly, it's caught a little bit too late. So what's been going on here? So here on board now with a 55.8, harassing Blackie, who's harassing the crazy Admiral. Admiral goes over there to the right. Does he just drift? Why does he just go off? Admiral, there's no reason why he just went off it. No one touched him. He just seemed to go right into the barrier. Well, I'm looking for someone to get the nickname Flymo, and you could be it, crazy. What was that all about, unfortunately? Well, no, really, it should be PTRT, to be honest. Azeroth is also now being harassed by Skivet. Oh, this is going to be brave if he manages to stick there. He doesn't. Skivet just backs out of it a little bit. So, just go through the... Ooh, Azeroth's got it horribly wrong on the braking, so Skivet, the pressure from Skivet has just let him get through. And Admiral's now tucked in behind Azeroth, and I think PTRT's probably retiring from the race. So, back up front here. Fat Pickles still holding off the BMW of Wreck Paul. Magtool sponsors Honda here. The Daddy Pig symbol on the back bumper and on the front bonnet. And on the roof, I've just spotted that. That looks so good. Go Daddy Pig. Still missing Hunty the Punty. League 5 boys, can you find out what's going on with Hunty the Punty? I miss my Aston Martin driver. He's not been around last week and he's not here this week, so he's not in this race. Hopefully, maybe in the next one. But did anyone tell me what's happened to Hunty the Punty? I miss him already. So at the moment, it's line of stern. Wreck Paul this is as close as he's ever been. Is there any way the BMW driver can get past Daddy Pig? He's looking. He's so close. He could go up. He could go up, stick his hand out the window and unlock the back door. No, Fat Pickles is holding his line. He's getting away. It's all line stern at the moment, and no one's really managing to make anything stick. Ooh, heavy under braking. I thought he was going to get a bit closer than that. This is superb driving. Look how respectful and clean this driving is here in League 5. It's starting to get the feeling that if Wreck Paul could get past Daddy Pig, he might be able to pull away. It looks to me, like the BMW driver is just a tad faster because he's pulling away from Tricky here in third place, and James has now dropped off from these boys completely. So let's go back up. This is really the main battle at the moment, and it is a good one as well. So we're 10 minutes into the race, a third of the way through the race, and Paul still has not managed to find a way past that Honda. The Honda seems to pull away at the faster sections, which is not surprising, but the BMW by Paul is starting to catch up at the trickier sections, which is a surprise considering how tricky that BMW is to control. The Honda is it's a really nice car to drive, unlike the BMW. So interesting to see where Paul can pick this place or spot to try and make a move to get past the Honda driver. Just Fat Pickles. Daddy Pig just needs to keep that Honda in the on the racing line, and it's going to be hard for the BMW to find a way past. It's now settled down between these. Oh, I love this bank turn. I think, is it Brooklands? Is that the racetrack which is in England, which has got a bank like that? There's Monza's got a bank like that, the old Monza track. Beautiful bank section, that is. Oh, Fat Pickles has got that bit wrong. It's loud Wreck Paul too. Catch up a little bit. Paul's flirting with danger there by putting two wheels on the grass. That is such an easy place to spin off. That Pickle's going a little bit defensive, doesn't need to because Paul's not that close at the moment. Well, he's close now, is Paul, though. That's literally, he's right in the back bumper, kissing Daddy Pig on the back bumper there. Fat Pickles keeps it nice and neat. He's going to get good drive, and watch how that Honda's going to start pulling away. Look, moving and pulling away from the BMW, even though the BMW has got the toe. Honda Power seems to be certainly much more punchier than the BMW. I will need to look at other races going on, but this is so compelling to see. 10 minutes, and both these two now have dropped. Tricky. Guns don't kill people, robbers do. Summon the police. Woo woo woo. Oh, Fat Pickles goes very wide again. He could have lost it there. Paul's got a little bit of a drive here. He's so close. Just trying to remember, is this the first time Fat Pickles is one who's been leading a race? I can't remember. Yes, this is the first time he's leading a race. He's doing a good job because Wreck Paul has won a race before, so he's used to being up front. If Fat Pickles hasn't been in the lead for anything, this is going to be... His heart will be pounding, hoping he can hang on for this place, but it looks like Paul is going to harass him all the way to the finish. Look at this, he's still not managed to find a place to pass. Superb driving here by Wreck Paul and Fat Pickles, and they've not even touched once yet. This is how you do it. This is MRC at its best. Two committed fast drivers. Paul's going to make his move. He's finally made the move. He's gone around the outside of the place. I thought he'd struggle. Great move there by Paul, but Fat Pickles is fighting right back. He's undercut Paul through the start-finish straight, and he's got the lead back again. Oh, fantastic driving by these two. I do need to check, see what's going on down the rest of the field. I will do very quickly, but I don't really want to just focus on this for the entire race, but this is worth watching. But anyway, quickly, we'll go back to this if it changes. Wreck Paul second, Tricky third, doing a 55.3. That is extremely quick time, 55.3. James, the best he's done is 56, so as you can see, the Jag just hasn't got the pace of the drivers up front. Blackie's still holding on to 5th place, 55.9. 55.8 still is still in 6th place, done 57s. Skivet still in 7th place. He's got up from last place up to 7th. 58 is his best time. It's not particularly good. On this track, Crazy Admiral was the lead Jag at one point, I believe. Was in 8th and has now been harassed by Azeroth in the Honda, and yeah, there's only 9 runners now, so PTRT has definitely dropped out after a bit of a disaster for him. So at the moment, this is really the only battle. With only 9 drivers. We did have 14 in the last race, I think it was, or a couple of races ago. Fat Pickles and Wreck Paul is the only sort of on-track battle which is close. Wreck Paul coming up that really tricky corner there. It's very easy to get thrown wide, as Paul has had 2 wheels on the grass at one point. Is he going to have a dive up the inside? No, he doesn't. Pulls out of it because Pickles goes defensive. And through this section, it just means, yeah, Paul can catch right back up the second part. Now, can Paul get a toe or go undercut Pickles? Pickles is going defensive straight down the middle. No, can't do it here again. We're getting a nice big close-up there of Daddy Pig on the back bumper. Daddy Pig is pulling away. Look at the consistency in these times. 55, 6, 8, 2, 7, 2, 6. What a consistent amount of lap times by Wreck Paul here, but he still just cannot find a way past that Honda. Will the pressure eventually tell? Will he be able to finally get a decent... Ooh! Pickles hits the inside of the apex, which unsettled the car there. Paul's just done the best sector time there as well. On board with Paul here. Both drivers using as much of the track as they possibly can. think what's going on here is that Paul is the quicker driver, but Fat Pickles is in the faster car. They both go very wide there again, right on the limit. Surely they can't keep this going for the rest of the race. They're already 16 minutes nose to tail. Still got another 14 minutes of this to go. And I've just got to say, I'm so impressed with Rex Paul's driving. So close to the back of someone for so long. It's really hard not to bump or touch someone. But Paul has just shown you how. This is a masterclass by Paul, I've got to say. How to race someone, find a way to get past them. You have patience. If you're quicker, you'll find a gap somewhere. Unfortunately for Paul, though, Fat Pickles is also a quick driver, certainly showing his true colours here in this Honda, and is just holding his line, holding his nerve. What's going to give first? Is it going to be Pickles? Is it going to be Paul? In the meantime, the police well, they're not that far behind. If anything, any incidents happen with the two drivers up front, Tricky's still within a shout of collecting up first place there. James is well off the pace now. He's got a gap between him and Tricky in fourth. Blackie here's got a gap now between him and James, and he's in fifth. 55.8. He's all on his own still here in sixth. Skivet is all on his own here in seventh. Crazy Admiral is ahead of Azaroth at the back here. This is the only other two within sight of each other. So really the only place, and PTRT's retired. So really we're still, this is it. This is the best place to be at the moment. So while we have a little breather, I'm going to just have a quick drinks break. Sponsored by Audi. No, is it Audi I get it from? Yeah, it's Audi. Sponsored by Audi Coffee, the best budget coffee money can buy. Oh, Daddy Pig. Oh, that's nice. So Daddy Pig there. Oh, I thought Paul was going to go up the inside. Daddy Pig's done his best sector time. Still pushing. Nerves jangling. Sweaty palms. Heart pumping. He's managed to hold off Wreck Paul now for 20 minutes. Is this how this race is going to finish? They're coming under the two Gran Turismo bridges through the tricky S section at the end of the lap, and again, just as the Fat Pickle seems to get a really nice drive out of the corners, especially at this turn here, turn one. Paul might catch up in the corner, obviously because there's a bit of a concertina effect, but Pickles seems to get a nice big punch from the Honda engine, which pulls him away from the BMW. As you can see there, he's pulled out a bit of a gap between him and Wreck Paul. We need to see really where Paul is catching up. Where does Paul gain his track position from? Because on the fast flowing sections, the Honda is pulling away from the BMW. Just looking at the map at the top of the screen, and everyone is really strung out, apart from these two at front and the two at the back. We'll go back to Admiral, and oh, I thought Pickles was going to bin it then. We'll go back to Admiral and Azaroth at the back in a minute to see how, if they manage to swap places. But at the moment, really the only place to be is here up front. Wreck Paul and Fat Pickles are really putting on a superb show, it's got to be said. Wreck Paul here has done a 55.2, which is the same time as what Beserker-Boy did in League 4. So these boys are on the limit, really quick. This is as good as it gets. Going up the hill now. Oh, finally a mistake has happened, and it's Pickles. Pickles, I'll show you, I know exactly what's happened here. As you go through the compression, we go on board with Pickles. As you go through this compression, it will sling you out right. Like that, it slings you out right. And finally, something gave, and it was that it compresses you, and you literally, if you keep the power on, it will throw you out there to the right and off the circuit, and that's what's happened. So it's finally, a valiant effort there by Pickles has just allowed Paul now to get past after 20 minutes. That's how you do it. Consistently fast racing, and eventually your opportunity will arise. Wreck Paul, take a bow, has got into first place. Pickles just needs to gather his thoughts now, just keep calm, and he can maybe drift back up to the back end of the wreck Paul, but he's still got the police chasing him here in third place. Tricky, he's not giving up. He's still not too far away from, about a second off from where Fat Pickles is. James is still on his own. Blackie's still on his own. 55.8's on his own. Skibbit is on his own. So we're back to Crazy Admiral and Azarath. There's still a bit of a on board here of Azarath. Gets it very wide for that last corner. The Dutchman here in a lime green Honda. Dutchmen do seem to like green, I have to say. What with PTRT? PTRT's not going to be able to pick up any points though I don't think, for retiring from the race. Is Azarath going to catch up to Crazy Admiral? Is the Jag going to hold on against the Honda? The Honda is a quicker car. It's just a case of, can Azarath get it around the track? He certainly seems to be gaining on the Jaguar driver now. Just going to have another quick drinks break while we have a quick look at Azarath here. Azarath still driving really well, to be honest. Slowly reeling that Jaguar in. You can see he's within touching distance, and he gets it all wrong. Goes too wide, so the Jag driver now going to pull away. So with 7 minutes to go, back up here in the lead at the moment is Wreck Paul. Fat Pickles, Daddy Pig, stood in second place. One mistake has cost him the lead so far. Not much. Has really not put a foot much of. He hasn't really put much of a foot wrong, and he's lost a place for it. Tricky has been in third for the entire race. With the speed cameras on there, that's quite funny. I do like that. If you look there at the bottom of the fenders, it's closing on his car. It's on the other side. There's speed cam. There it is, a speed camera, the back right fender, or whatever wing it is. With that police car, that does look. That's a superb livery, I've got to say. I think it's funny. So yeah, anyway, Tricky is holding station in third place. He's not losing touch with the leaders, but he's not gaining. So he's done a 55.3. He's consistently putting low 56 times most of the time. So he's there or thereabouts again. So if he can just keep it consistent again, maybe Paul or Pickles might crack under a bit of pressure and make a mistake somewhere along the line. But if they do, the police will be there. The police stop at the back. That's excellent. Police. Oh, he takes a lot of curve there. You can see it's unsettled the car coming up the hill, so he's probably lost a bit of ground there on Daddy Pig up here in the Mag Tools Honda. Superb livery, even with the even better with the Daddy Pig stuff on it. I do like that. So right, 5 minutes to go. We're coming into the closing stage of the race. There hasn't really been too much action apart from Wreck Paul spending 20 minutes behind Fat Pickles, and Fat Pickles unfortunately just got unsettled by that compression 3/4 of the way around the circuit to just allow Wreck Paul to get past. But that's been it, really. There's been a couple of other places been swapped at the back, but most of the time it's been as you are. You can see this field is properly strung out. Look at the map at the right hand top of the screen, and you can see we're riding with Wreck Paul, who's the red arrow, and all the other cars, there's only 9 in this race, are strung out quite equally all the way back to the last place drivers who are just going through the final turns and coming up to the start finish straight now, whereas here we have Paul, who's just about to enter that beautiful banked corner here. I love that corner. It's really tricky. You can't quite go full throttle through that section. You have to ease off or dab the brake at some point. You really are hanging on for dear life, hoping that you can keep it, make it stick. And you need to be careful you don't drift wide, as we saw in League 4. Unfortunately, Zaf drifted wide at the bank turn and came off and lost a lot of places because you're going really fast and just wrecked his race. So, League 5 boys, got to say, showing how it's done. With 3 minutes to go, so 3 minutes to go to be another 2 laps. Wreck Paul majestically pulling away from Fat Pickles. He's got a little bit of a gap now, so let's see if we can see how far ahead. There he is, just up ahead. He's about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds lead on Fat Pickles here. Daddy Pig in second place. So any mistake by Paul and Fat Pickles is on hand to take advantage of it. Tricky back here in third place. Again, still within touch. He's spent 27 minutes and he's not lost touch of the 2 in front. So again, Tricky's been extremely consistent. And it just feels unfortunate that for all that consistency and fast driving, he's only going to get a third place for it. Great driving here by Tricky as well, got to say. James, a bit further off the field, he's basically seen no one for a while, but slowly but surely Blackie is caught up a touch to James, the flying pasty. But with only 2 minutes to go, can he gain that, what was it, 2.5 second lead that James has got over Blackie there? 55.8, I'm looking at the map, he's got the biggest gap of anyone on the circuit at the moment. He is a good 10 seconds, I'd say, off the 2 boys in front, and is about 6-7 seconds in front of Skivet here in 7th. Crazy Admiral's still ahead of Ezeroth, back here at the last 8th and 9th positions. So, and PTRT is retired. So here we go. Wreck Paul with a minute to go. This will be the last lap, I'm pretty sure. So we're right on board with Paul. Looks like it's going to be his, well, it will be his race to lose now. Just need to keep it on the circuit, do what he's been doing for the last 29 minutes, and the race will be his. Great driving by him, and who's he flashing his lights at? He's flashing his lights at someone. There's no one on the track, Paul. Who are you flashing? Or is he just getting excited? Or does he know the cameras are watching him? Does he know that I'm commentating on him? Who knows? Maybe the pressure's telling and he just wanted to flash his lights. I have to say, it doesn't look like... Let's just go to Fat Pickles here. Fat Pickles has still not lost touch. You know, one mistake by Paul here. And look at that, Fat Pickles on his last lap. He's trying all the way to the bitter end. Fat Pickles has just done his fastest lap, the last lap of 55.287. He's not giving us up. Go Daddy Pig. He's visibly, he's caught up a little bit. I'd say he's going about half a second on Paul. It's the last stages of the race. Crazy Admiral, I've missed that now. Crazy Admiral has finished 8th. That means Azeroth would have finished 9th, but let's go on board here with Wreck Paul as he's coming through the final section of the racetrack. This compression turn here, he holds it well in the BMW, doesn't push it too far wide. He knows he's just got to keep it clean, and it's his. So he's coming up to the last. It's not really a chicane, and it's not really a turn. So last little section here, right, left, straight down the start-finish straight, and Wreck Paul will take the win. Says hello to his pit crew as they lean out the door, out the wall. Fat Pickles second, Tricky coming across the line in third. Nice drive there by Fat Pickles. I didn't get a chance to say congratulations Daddy Pig for your excellent second place. One mistake has cost him the win, but yeah, superb drive by him. I think that's the highest he's been as well. So James, the Flying Pasty, respectable fourth. Blacky's just finished in fifth. 55.8. Still coming through under the Gran Turismo bridges. He's just gone through the first one. The second one's just gone past now. Has done well for a Corvette for 6th place, the 55.8. Beautiful car to handle, I have to say, the Corvette. I do like it. So 55.8, Billy Miller, 6th place, which just leaves Skivet now to come through the final section in his Corvette as well. For the final, well, it's not the final place, but the final person to cross the line would be now Skivet in 7th place. So there you go. Thank you very much. I look forward to Fuji. I hear Fuji has an excellent bit of racing in it, but that was really good as well, I'd say, from the League 5 boys. So thank you very much. Leave any comments, and I shall see you again next time.